In this video, I'm going to go over exactly what I do the night before the next trading day. So, as you might know from looking at previous videos or following me for a while or looking at my trades, whatever, you see that I don't look below the 4 hour the night before. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to do a replay mode of what I would be seeing for the next day for dollar CAD coming into Friday and what I'd be thinking. And also, I'm going to look to do at least once or twice a week in the upcoming weeks, just to talk through what I'm looking for the next day on a couple of pairs at least. That then you can then see, right? Okay, well, this is what he's saying. This is what can happen. Obviously, the Asia session can change my thoughts. It can change the look of the charts. It can break structure. It can do a lot of things that then actually in the morning, which will be another video, I'll then reassess. I'll then be saying, right, well, was my thoughts from the night before? Is it still viable, or do I have to change my thought process? So if I just go to the alerts and well, we know what the daily's saying, so let's do it on the 4 hour. So the 11th, 10th. So coming into the next day, this is how things would look. Now, the daily kind of sets itself. It's not that hard. I mean, at the end of the day, what have we done? Well, the Thursday we had a strong bearish close that's closed beyond structure that has created a potential um, like break and retest area, with the trend obviously being strong bearish. Now, are we overextended? Well, in my eyes, we were, and then we've had a sideways movement, and then we started the push again. So actually, we're not overextended, but overall we are not in the immediate structure. Now, if I look to the last time, I probably have to go to the weekly because it's been a long time since we've been here. You can see that we have these wicks from May 2018. That's crazy how far the dollar has fallen against the Canadian dollar in recent times. Like, we're down to where price was in 2018. Now we've taken out these wicks, so the next logical area would be around the 1.25, just above 1.25 area, which is a good 250 pips from current price. But we have a pretty strong area here that at the time, obviously, coming into Friday, we were just looking for a continuation to the downside. Now, it is likely that we're going to have some kind of reaction from here because we had a nice push here and then price came back into it, another nice push that actually created a higher high. So I do expect some kind of pullback in the grander scheme of things. But for the purpose of this video, I was just looking at the for Friday. So we have this strong bearish day, but obviously we are, in terms of the immediate trend, we've had the impulse, we've had the pullback, which is here, and now we're beyond the origin of the pullback, which is a key thing that I always iterate time and time again to people that I work with. This is the origin of the pullback. Now, it's a sideways pullback, but it's still a pullback. And we have closed beyond it. So we are now in an area that can be, it can obviously keep on falling, but it also is an area that is most likely to start a pullback at some point. Obviously, waiting for evidence of that pullback occurring makes sense, which is obviously like 4 hour candles, etc., bullish. But coming into the Friday, we're looking at shorts, but being aware that we're overextended, we want a deeper pullback, and ideally, we want the pullback to occur in the Asia session so that London and New York basically flows to the downside. Now, looking at the previous day, obviously the break and retest area was an area that was about 50% of the candle, which makes sense. And also, having price pulling all the way back to close to the highs of this bearish candle overnight would actually put me off sells more, because we are in an area that obviously would have created a strong bullish momentum in Asia session that would have created new support that then we could have pulled back a wee bit and then actually started to pull back. So looking for price to be around the 1.2770 area by the time that I wake up in the morning of Friday would be basically great. Now, would I be looking for shorts below the lows of Thursday? If I was, they would be shorter term expectation trades that I would be going with immediate momentum, and that would be it. It would be basically original expectation would be in and out within the hour, because we're overextended, we're below the lows. Again, thinking of it in the sense that, well, we're below the lows of the previous range, so we're in an area that can cause a reaction. So we go to the 4 hour. Now, the 4 hour is where you're going to get more detail, because the last 4 hour, to look at it for a candle perspective kind of doesn't make sense, because we will have the 10 till 2 a.m. and the 2 till 6 a.m. closes by the time you wake up in the morning. That's just a given. So what I then would be doing is I'd be looking and be like, right, okay, well, where are we in the trend on the 4 hour in most recent times? Well, we've had the push down. We've had the push down, and now we've created some kind of support that could be the start of a pullback, which obviously from the daily candle, what we said was if price can come about 50% of the move, which obviously would basically line up with the break and retest area as well. And then if we saw sellers around this area, we could be looking for first, obviously, target being the lows of the origin of the pullback, which is this dotted line here, which is this dot here, which could be the pullback that started overnight. That would be my thinking. If I can wake up in the morning and it's around 1.2770, break and retest area on the 4 hour, 50% of the previous day, so we're getting in at a sell high area, that would make sense for me to look for a trade to the downside. Now, to think of the counter trend, because it's overextended, and if maybe we took out the lows of the previous day and then created support or whatever, then we could be looking for a push to the upside if you're wanting to counter trend, or just go with the higher time frame counter trend but lower time frame with the trend that can be an impulsive move, which is actually what I ended up taking. It's another video that I've posted. But basically, what I'd be then saying is, right, well, right now, coming like this last 4 hour candle has created support. It's created support due to this bullish candle close that by the time wake up in the morning, yes, price could have closed beyond it, and then it's not support anymore. It can become a new break and retest area. But the matter of fact is that I don't know what's going to happen to the absolute pip overnight. So all I can do is work with what I'm given here. So we're essentially within this range. We are in the range, and ideally, if I was looking for counter trend longs, I would be wanting to look at 1.2730, 1.2720 down at the lows of the last 4 hour. This kind of support, as long as it's not closed beyond, and we're around this area in the morning, 1 hour, maybe double bottom or something like that, and I'd be looking for longs. Now, then for the short side would be obviously 1.2770. If it's around this area in kind of no man's land, maybe it'll create a bearish candle like this that is saying sellers to me, then sorry for the poor S, but saying a seller's candle to me that it couldn't quite get up here before the sellers came in, then obviously I would be like, right, well, this is new resistance that I could be looking for shorts back down to the origin of the pullback, which is here, which is another possibility. Now, that's essentially what I look for the night before, and that is what Dollar CAD was saying to me before the the next day for Friday. So I hope that's been of use, and yeah, I'll look to do some more that you'll be able to see. Right, okay, well, I don't know what's happened the next day. I'm not doing it like this replay mode. I'm going to do it as in, right, this is my thoughts. These are my areas of interest. And then what I'll do is kind of a catch up video of, well, this is what actually happened. You're not going to be right or wrong whenever you're doing your analysis for the next day. It's just about having areas of interest and then seeing how price reacts, or if and when they are hit the next day and you're looking at the charts. Obviously, if it's hit during Asia session, then what you thought's going to happen happens, but you're sleeping. Well, that's just the way that it is. Or even if you're not sleeping, you're in Australia or US or whatever, I obviously recommend not to trade the Asia session. So even if it happens, it might not be the smoothest move, and it could still be there by London session anyway, or just before it. So you could still get the kind of main move. So don't force it. But if you're seeing your analysis coming together, if you're seeing what you're picturing happening actually happen, then that's always going to be a good thing for the future of your trading.